Hello everyone, welcome to Groups Master. This is APPSC Group 1 Mains Revision Series Science and Technology Topics 8.8 and 8.9. ఈ వీడియోలో మనం డిస్కస్ చేస్తున్నాం. These topics are Introduction to Immunity and Fundamental Concepts in Vaccination. This is our official website groupsmaster.com. Please visit this website for further information and updates. Introduction to Immunity. You can introduce immunity in this way. Immunity is the ability of an organism to resist and fight against harmful pathogens such as bacteria, viruses, fungi and parasites that can cause infections and diseases. The immune system is a complex network of cells, tissues and organs that work together to protect the body from these harmful pathogens. The immune system plays a critical role in maintaining the health of an organism. However, it also malfunctions and attacks the body's own tissues, resulting in autoimmune diseases. Understanding how the immune system functions and how it can be modulated is essential for the development of effective therapies for infectious diseases, autoimmune disorders and cancer. ఈ విధంగా మీరు ఇమ్యూనిటీని ఇంట్రడ్యూస్ చేస్తూ బ్రీఫ్ డిస్క్రిప్షన్ ఇవ్వచ్చు. Next, types of immunities. There are two main types of immunity. First one is innate immunity. Second one is adaptive immunity. Let us see innate immunity. This is the first line of defense against the pathogens and it is present at the time of the birth. It includes physical barriers such as skin and mucous membranes as well as non-specific immune cells such as neutrophils and macrophages which engulf and destroy foreign invaders. Deep గా డిస్కషన్ చేయట్లేదు. రివిజన్ సిరీస్ కనుక మెయిన్ ఇంపార్టెంట్ పాయింట్స్ అన్ని ఇంట్రడ్యూస్ చేయడం జరుగుతుంది ఇందులో. Adaptive immunity, next one. This is the second line of defense and it is developed after exposure to pathogens. It involves the activation of specific immune cells known as lymphocytes which recognize and respond to specific pathogens. This results in the production of antibodies that can neutralize and eliminate the pathogen, as well as the generation of memory cells that provide long-lasting protection against future infections. Next, what is immune response? Immune response ante entante, the immune response is how your body recognizes and defends itself against bacteria, viruses and substances that appear foreign and harmful to the human body. What are the parts of immune system ante? White blood cells, antibodies, complement system, spleen, bone marrow, thymus and ఈ విధంగా కొన్ని parts of the immune system గురించి explain చేయొచ్చు. Let us see some of the parts of the immune system. First one is white blood cells, also known as lymphocytes. White blood cells are made in bone marrow of human body and they are part of the lymphatic system. White blood cells launch an immune attack against foreign invaders such as microbes, bacteria, viruses, parasites and fungi whenever they are found in the human body. There are two types of lymphocytes. One is B and another one is T-type lymphocytes. B-type lymphocytes are the cells that produce antibodies. Remember that produce antibodies. Antibodies attach to a specific antigen and make it easier for the immune cells to destroy the antigen. T lymphocytes attack antigens. T lymphocytes attack antigens directly and help control the immune response. What are antibodies? Antibodies are the proteins made by the immune system to fight infections caused by viruses, bacteria, fungi or parasites. Next, what is complement system? The complement system is made up of proteins whose actions complement the work done by the antibodies. What is bone marrow? The bone marrow is extremely important to mention because all the body's blood cells including T and B lymphocytes originate in the bone marrow. Next one is spleen. The spleen is part of lymphatic system which fights infection, keeps human body fluids in balance. It contains white blood cells that fight germs. Next one is thymus. Thymus is responsible for producing the hormone thymosin, which in turn helps in production of T cells. Next, fundamental concepts in vaccination lo, what is vaccination ante ee vidhanga vaccination define cheyochu. It is a medical procedure that involves administering a small safe amount of weakened or inactivated version of disease causing agents such as virus or bacterium or a piece of the agent such as protein or sugar to stimulate the individual's immune system to recognize and build immunity to the disease. Today the term vaccine applies to all biological preparations produced from living organisms that enhance immunity against disease and either prevent, prophylactic vaccines or in some cases treat diseases, therapeutic vaccines. ప్రివెంట్ చేయడానికి ఆల్రెడీ ముందే ఇస్తే కనుక దాన్ని ప్రొఫిలాక్టిక్ వ్యాక్సిన్స్ అంటాం. ఆఫ్టర్ డిసీజ్ ట్రీట్ చేయడానికి ఇస్తే కనుక దాన్ని థెరపటిక్ వ్యాక్సిన్స్ అంటాం. ఈ విధంగా వ్యాక్సినేషన్ గురించి బ్రీఫ్గా డిస్క్రైబ్ చేస్తూ ఇంట్రడ్యూస్ చేయొచ్చు. నెక్స్ట్, ఫండమెంటల్ కాన్సెప్ట్స్ ఆఫ్ వ్యాక్సిన్స్ ఆల్సో ఇంక్లూడ్ యాక్టివ్ ఇమ్యూనిటీ. This occurs when an individual's immune system is exposed to a pathogen, develops the ability to recognize and fight it in the future. This type of immunity can be achieved through natural infection or vaccination. Next one is passive immunity. కొన్ని కాన్సెప్ట్స్ డిస్కస్ చేస్తున్నాం వ్యాక్సినేషన్లో. ఫస్ట్ వన్ యాక్టివ్ ఇమ్యూనిటీ డిస్కస్ చేస్తున్నాం. ఇప్పుడు ప్యాసివ్ ఇమ్యూనిటీ. దిస్ అకర్స్ when an individual is given pre-formed antibodies usually from another individual. Passive immunity provides immediate protection but it is temporary. Next one is antigens. These are the substances, usually proteins, on the surface of the pathogen that the immune system recognizes as foreign. Vaccines are designed to mimic these antigens in order to trigger an immune response. Next, what are antibodies? These are proteins produced by the immune system in response to an antigen. They can neutralize pathogens or mark them for destruction by other cells of the immune system. What are T cells? These are a type of white blood cell that play a critical role in cell-mediated immunity. They can recognize and attack infected cells directly. Next concept is vaccine safety. Vaccines are rigorously tested for safety before being approved for the use. They are continually monitored for safety once they are on the market. Next, herd immunity. COVID time lo chaala mandi vinne untadi idi. This occurs when a high proportion of a population is immune to a disease, which makes it difficult for the disease to spread and protects those who are not immune, such as the very young, elderly, and immunocompromised. Next, types of vaccines. First one is whole virus vaccines. This method of vaccination uses the whole disease causing pathogen in a vaccine to produce an immune response similar to that seen during natural infection. Using the pathogen in its natural state could cause active disease and could potentially be dangerous to the individual receiving it and risk the disease spreading to others. To avoid this, modern vaccines use pathogens that have been altered. Next one is inactivated vaccines. These vaccines contain killed versions of the disease-causing virus or bacteria. Examples of inactivated vaccines include polio vaccines, hepatitis A vaccine, and the flu vaccine. Next one is live attenuated vaccines. These vaccines contain weakened but live forms of the disease-causing virus or bacteria. Examples are measles, mumps, rubella, MMR vaccine, the yellow fever vaccine, and chickenpox vaccine. Next, mRNA vaccines. These vaccines contain a small piece of genetic material that instructs cells to produce a protein found on the surface of the virus, which triggers an immune response. Examples of mRNA vaccines include Pfizer BioNTech COVID-19 vaccine and Moderna COVID-19 vaccine. Protein subunit vaccines. These vaccines use fragments of protein from the disease-causing virus to trigger protective immunity against it. Next type is conjugate vaccines. Conjugate means connected or joined with some bacteria. To get the protection from a vaccine, we need to train the immune system to respond to polysaccharides complex, also known as complex sugars on the surface of the bacteria rather than proteins. A conjugate vaccine is a type of vaccine which combines a weak antigen with a strong antigen as a carrier so that the immune system has a stronger response to the weak antigen. Examples are HPV vaccine and pneumococcal conjugate vaccine. Next and last type of vaccine is viral vector vaccines. These vaccines use harmless virus such as adenovirus to deliver a gene from the disease-causing virus into cells, triggering an immune response. Examples are Johnson & Johnson COVID-19 vaccine and AstraZeneca COVID-19 vaccine. These are the types of vaccines. Thank you very much. If you really like this video, please subscribe to Groups Master YouTube channel.